Hello friend, welcome you all in the biomolecule second session of class 11th NCERT book biology. I BP Shah, PGT Bio, Kendriya Vidyalaya Keshapuram. Before going to start my second session, I have asked some questions in my last session. Now, I hope you all are able to answer these questions. So, let us think that question which are previously asked. My first question was, what is the other name given to the carbohydrate? Second question was, which is the common sugar found in the animal? Third question was, what are macromolecules? Give example. The answer of first question was, what is the other name of carbohydrate? Carbohydrate which is made by carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, its other name is saccharides. So, on that basis it has been classified into monosaccharide, disaccharide, oligosaccharide and polysaccharides. My second question was, which is the common sugar found in the animal? The common sugar which are found in the animal is glucose, which gives immediate source of energy. The third question was, what are macromolecules? Give example. We have already seen in my last lecture, the biomolecules has been divided into two categories, that are biomacromolecules on the basis of their molecular weight and on the basis of amount which are present in the particular cell. So, the answer was biomolecules which have molecular weight less than 1000 Dalton, that is excess of 10 macromolecule per kg of dry matter, are usually referred to as biomacromolecules. These biomacromolecules have large atomic weight. The examples of biomacromolecules are protein, polysaccharides, nucleic acids. Now, the main topic of this lessons, which already discussed in my last classes, the different types of classes of the biomacromolecules, that is carbohydrate, lipid, protein, nucleic acid. In nucleic acid there is DNA and RNA. I have discussed in my last classes carbohydrate. The carbohydrate which we have already discussed, the carbohydrate classified into carbohydrates. The other name of carbohydrate, that is called saccharides. It has been divided into mainly three groups, that is monosaccharide, which have 3 to 7 carbon molecules. Next one, oligosaccharides, which after breaking it gives 2 to 9 monosaccharides, and lastly polysaccharide, which after hydrolysis gives more than 10 monosaccharide. In all three classes, I have discussed the monosaccharides. In monosaccharides, I have discussed triose, tetrose, pentose and some hexoses. The hexose which we have already known, the hexose are the carbohydrate or the monosaccharide which are made by 6 carbon compound. All the hexoses are classified into 2 broad categories, that is aldose and ketones. I have already discussed the structure formula of glucose, which is a aldehyde. I have already discussed galactose. It is also a type of hexose that contain aldehyde group. Now, the fructose. Fructose is a type of monosaccharide, that is the hexose which is made by ketones. The ketones, the functional group is this. Now, the formula of ketone we can write easily, same as glucose and galactose, write 6 carbon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. At 6 carbon atom there will be the ketone. Here first one has CH2OH, the third one have HOH this side, here HOH, HOH, this is CH2OH. So, its formula will be C6H12O6. So, this is the third number of hexoses, the first one glucose, galactose and fructose. These are also found in the ring form, we have discussed in later. Now, how these hexose, glucose, galactose and fructose form the ring structure. The ring structure of glucose are of this type. There are 2 type of ring found in the hexose, that is pyran ring and the furan ring. This is the pyran ring. Here it is abbreviated by 1 carbon here, second carbon here, third carbon here, fourth carbon here, fifth carbon here. Here is the 6th carbon which is attached with the 5 carbon. This one is the 6th carbon. Now, you can put H and OH here. Here is H, OH, H, OH. In glucose third carbon atom, OH at the left side. So, here OH at upper one, H, here H, OH. So, this is the ring form of glucose. Now, the ring form of galactose is same. When you know about what are the differences between the glucose and galactose, where the H and OH group are present, at which position, either right side or left side, we can easily formulate the glucose molecule or the galactose molecule in the ring form. The ring form of galactose are same as glucose. This is the pyran ring also. Here carbon, carbon, the numbering will be the same, 1 carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon and fifth carbon. At fifth position, there will be the 6 carbon. Now, you can write same as glucose, here H, OH, H, OH. Glucose and galactose changes at 3 carbon and 4 carbon. At this position in galactose, the OH group are found at the left side. So, at 3 and 4 position OH will occupy upper side. So, when we know the structure of glucose in the simpler form, in the linear form, we can easily write the structure of glucose in ring form and galactose. This is the galactose. Now, there is slightly difference ring form of glucose, galactose and fructose. The fructose are present in furon ring. The furon ring have this type of structure. This one here at first carbon there is CH2OH, OH, OH, H, H, OH. At fifth carbon there is CH2OH and H. So, we can number this carbon, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So, this is the ring form of fructose. So, now we are able to write the structure of all 3 main hexoses, that is glucose, fructose and galactose. This will help in the formation of disaccharide. Now, the next monosaccharide which contain 7 carbon, that is called haptulose. This haptulose, as the name indicate, it is made by carbon 7. So, the general formula will be carbon 7 H 14 O 7. These are also found in the two form, aldehydic form and the ketonic form. The aldehydic form of haptulose is called glucohaptose, and ketonic form of haptulose is pseudohaptulose. This pseudohaptulose is the one of the product in Calvin cycle, that is pseudohaptulose 1,7 bisphosphate. The glucohaptose we can write simply same as glucose, same as galactose, write 7 carbon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At 1 carbon there is aldehydic group and the position of H, OH is this type H, OH, H, OH, H, OH, H, OH. At last one 7th position there is CH2OH. So, this is the structure of glucohaptose. Now, same when we know that pseudohaptulose has ketone group. So, we can easily write 7 carbon 4, 5, 6, 7. At second position there is a ketone group, no doubt. At first position there is CH2OH group. So, now you can easily write if you know the position of H and OH. At the 4th position, the HOH position has been changed from the 3rd, 4th position same as 1st. So, this is the structure of pseudohaptulose that are the ketonic form and made by carbon 7 groups. Now, we can summarize these all the 7 in this form. Now, you can see here the classification of monosaccharide has been divided name, formula, aldosage form and the ketonic form. The names are, we have already discussed, trioses, tetraoses, pentoses, hexoses and heptoses. The formula will be same C3H6O3. The aldose form example is glycerose and ketones for dihydroxyacetone. Tetraoses C4H8O4, aldose form is erythrose, ketone form is erythrulose. Pentoses, the formula is C5H10O5, the example is ribose and ribulose. Ketonic form is called ribulose and aldose form is called ribose. Hexoses, the formula will be C6H12O6, the aldosage form are glucose and ketonic form are fructose. Heptoses C7H14O7, glucoheptose and pseudohaptose. So, with this chart we can easily summarize all the monosaccharides, their formula and these either these included under the aldose or the ketone. Now, how we can write the simple structure in the ring form? There is a certain clue are there when we write the formula of glucose in linear form. This is 6 carbon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. This one is CHO here. When you remember the linear form of glucose, OH, here is H, OH, H, 5th position H. This OH will take part in the formation of ring. So, this is the linear form of glucose. Now, how you make the ring form? Here this is the 5th carbon supposed. At 5th carbon this OH will take part in the formation of ring. Here C, C, double bond, here H. Now, this H which are present at the 5, it is shifted at here. When you shift this, then form this one is the 1 carbon, 2nd carbon, 3rd carbon, 4th carbon, 5th carbon. At 5th position there is the CH2OH. This is the how we form, how linear form changes into ring form. Now, when all thing will be take their original position. Now, the structure will be of this type. See, here only O is present, because H is shifted at first position. This one, here carbon, carbon, carbon. Now, here is the H, O is already present at first carbon and H shifted from the 5. Now, we can easily write here at second position HOH, no doubt, third position OH upper side, H lower side, H OH H. Now, same can repeat here, H OH, third position OH H, H OH H. So, we can here CH2OH, here is H. So, we can see the structure. Now, we can easily write from the linear form of glucose to the ring form of glucose. So, you can visualize here same thing, here the fifth position been changed and this is the ring form of glucose. Now, after the monosaccharide, the second one of the carbohydrate, that is oligosaccharides. The oligosaccharide, which after hydrolysis it gives 2 to 9 monosaccharides. Now, when it gives 2 monosaccharides after the hydrolysis, that type of oligosaccharide is called disaccharide. As the term indicate, the saccharide which after hydrolysis it gives 2 monosaccharide, that is called disaccharide. Disaccharide we can define, that is it consists of 2 monosaccharide. In another way we can say, after hydrolysis of the oligosaccharide, when it gives 2 monosaccharide, that is called disaccharide. It is joined by glycosidic bond. The common disaccharides are sucrose, which is called table sugar, which is made by glucose and fructose, lactose, which is called milk sugar in milk, major milk sugar, that are formed by glucose and galactose, and the maltose, which is the product of starch digestion, it is made by glucose plus glucose. Now, how the glycosidic bond is formed in disaccharide, and there are the all 3 types of disaccharide, which is very common. And now, we are able to find out the structure of the glucose and fructose. Now, how the glycosidic bond is formed? See here. Now, first of all, the structure of maltose. Maltose is a disaccharide which are found in, which is a product of starch digestion. Starch is a type of carbohydrate, it is a polysaccharide which after digestion it undergoes hydrolysis with the help of different type of enzyme, and for maltose as a product. These maltose are made by glucose plus glucose, glucose plus glucose. So, the formula of glucose, the maltose will be formula of glucose C6H12O6 and the another glucose C6H12O6. When both are combined, the formula will be C12H24O12, but at the time of bonding formation, the bond is formed in between the glucose and glucose, the hydrolysis takes place and one water molecule is going to be released. So, when we subtract the water from C12H24O12, then the formula will be C12H22O11. So, the formula of all the disaccharide like maltose, lactose and sucrose, that will be C12H22O11, because it is formed after the combination of other monosaccharide, just like maltose glucose plus glucose, lactose glucose plus galactose, sucrose glucose plus fructose. Now, how this glycosidic bond is formed? So, first of all, the structure of glucose we can write here, and two glucose when combined it form, just for example, here is the glucose, the ring form of glucose CO, C, H, OH, this is the first carbon, this one is the second carbon, at third carbon HOH, HOH, at fifth position CH2OH and H. This is the formula of ring structure of glucose. Now, when we write the second structure of glucose, that is, you can find here, when two glucose molecule is going to be unite, that is this type. So, this is the structure of glucose, this is the one glucose and this one is the another glucose. So, when we combine these two, we can easily form the glycosidic linkage like this. This is the two glucose molecule, and when we abbreviate this one is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. This one is the glucose first, this one is glucose second. It is going to be combined at 1,4, this one carbon and this one 4 carbon. This OH and OH group is going to be combined and water is going to be released. Here HOH, water is released. After releasing of water at carbon 1 and carbon 4 have this type of linkage. This linkage is called glycosidic linkage. So, when two monosaccharide is going to be combined, it form 1,4 glycosidic linkage. So, here you can see this one is the glucose, the H2O group is H2O water released, then it form maltose. Now, glucose plus glucose it combined to form maltose. In the same way, we can write the other disaccharides like lactose, like sucrose. So, the second one is lactose. Lactose is also a type of disaccharide which is formed by glucose plus galactose. Now, when you write the structure of galactose, we have just written in my ring form of galactose. This is the ring form of galactose, here is the ring form of glucose. When you know both the ring form of glucose and galactose, you can write the structure of lactose. Here at the fourth position, OH at the upper side, at the 1 position of glucose, OH at the underside. So, at the time of formation of water molecule, this structure is formed H and OH. The linkage will be no doubt 1,4, that is 1,4 glycosidic linkage, 1,4 glycosidic linkage is formed, but at fourth position OH at the upper side, here OH at the lower side. So, combine this H and this OH and form the glycosidic linkage. So, the ring will be glycosidic link will be this type. This one is called 1,4 glycosidic linkage. So, when one glucose molecule and one galactose molecule, it is combined, it form the lactose. At the time of hydrolysis of lactose, when water is going to be added, this lactose converted into glucose and galactose. So, you see the structure of lactose and the formula will be the same, that is C12H22O11, because at the time of formation of glycosidic linkage, water molecule is released. That when combined glucose and galactose molecule, the water is released and the structure of lactose are of this type. So, now we are able to write the structure of glucose and structure of galactose and maltose and galactose. Now, you see there is slightly different in formation of sucrose. Sucrose is known as common table sugar. It is made by glucose plus fructose. You know the glucose is a aldehydic form, is a aldehyde, and fructose is a ketone. When you write the structure of glucose and fructose, you can easily write the structure of sucrose. The formula of sucrose same as maltose and the lactose, C12H22O11, because it formed after hydrolysis. Water molecule is released and the bond is called glycosidic linkage. Now, write the structure of sucrose. So, firstly you can write the structure of glucose. You can easily write the structure of glucose. See here H OH, H OH, OH, H, H, OH, H, CH2H. Now, when you number this carbon, this one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, the structure of glucose you can easily write, because glucose is the main form of carbohydrate. It is found in all three disaccharide like maltose, lactose and sucrose. Now, write the structure of fructose. Fructose are found in furan ring, and this is 5 atom rings. This is the furan ring skeleton. Here H, CH2OH, OH, H, H, OH, CH2OH, OH. This one is the 1 carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon and sixth carbon. At the time of formation of sucrose, the combination of 1 and second carbon and the water molecule is released here in this form. Now, the structure will be this type. This one is called 1,2 glycosidic linkage. Glycosidic linkage. This is the structure of fructose. Now, when glucose and fructose is combined, it forms sucrose. So, this is the structure of sucrose. After the release of water molecule, the formula will be C12H22O11. Now, see the structure combinedly. This is here first carbon and second carbon, this after the releasing of water molecule, this is 1,2 glycosidic linkage. So, when glucose molecule combined with the fructose molecule, that form glycosidic bond at 1 carbon. At the formation of at the time of formation of glycosidic linkage, glucose 1 carbon and fructose second carbon is involved and form glycosidic linkage, and this is the structure of sucrose. So, now you all are able to write the formula of all the monosaccharides in linear form and the ring form, and the structure of disaccharides and other structure like maltose, lactose and sucrose. Now, another type of oligosaccharide when the oligosaccharide gives 2 monosaccharide, that is called disaccharide. If it gives 3 molecule of monosaccharide, 4 molecule of monosaccharide, 5 molecule of monosaccharide, up to 9 molecule of monosaccharide, that is called oligosaccharide. Now, see the structure, that is oligosaccharide which gives the 3 monosaccharide, mainly the oligosaccharide which contain 3 to 9 monosaccharides, 3 to 9 monosaccharides unit is called oligosaccharide. When it contains 3 monosaccharide, that is called trisaccharides. The common example of trisaccharides are raffinose. The raffinose is a trisaccharide which is formed by the combination of glucose galactose and fructose. So, now you are able to write the ring form of glucose, galactose and fructose, when all three going to be combined with the help of glycosidic link that form raffinose. So, see the structure of raffinose here. Now, first of all you can write the structure of any one glucose, galactose and fructose. So, here we start write the structure of galactose HOH, OH, H, OH, H, H, CH2OH. This is the structure of right. This is the structure of galactose. Here OH group is there. Now, you can place the just beneath the structure of galactose the structure of glucose. Write the structure of glucose. This is the structure of here H, CH2. This CH2OH, OH is going to be combined and form OH. Here also OH, H, OH, OH, H, H, OH. Here also OH group is here. Just write after the glucose, write the structure of fructose. This is the structure of fructose. Here H, CH2OH, OH, H, H, OH, CH2OH, and here is also OH. Now, this is the structure of fructose. By knowing the structure of glucose, galactose and fructose, linear form as well as the ring form, you can write in the similar way as I have written in first of all galactose, then glucose, then fructose. You can easily form the glycosidic bond. How this glycosidic bond is formed? After the formation of glycosidic bond there is the formation of raffinose. Raffinose, which is a type of oligosaccharide which are made by glucose, galactose and fructose. Now, see how the bond is formed. This bond is formed in between this OH and this OH. After the formation of bond, H2O is released and the bond are of this type, no doubt. Now, when the glucose and fructose is going to be combined, the water is released from here. This OH and OH combined, water is released. Here one glycosidic bond is here, in between galactose and glucose, the another type of glycosidic form in between the glucose and fructose. So, at the time of formation of raffinose, two glycosidic linkage are there, that is in between the glucose and fructose and in between the glucose and galactose. Okay. So, this is also glycosidic bond, glycosidic bond is there. Now, you can write the formula of raffinose. Raffinose is made by C6H12O6, that is the glucose, C6H12O6 fructose, C6H12O6 glucose, fructose, galactose. Now, the formula will be C18H 36 O18. Now, remove 2H2O group, 2H2O, it means H4 and O2. So, we can easily write the general formula of C18H 32 O16. This is the formula of raffinose. So, now we are able to write the formula of raffinose and the other monosaccharides to see the structure of different form, and there when we see the structure of different form, either linear form or in the ring form, we will able to write the formula of glucose, galactose, lactose, maltose, sucrose and so on. So, this is about the disaccharide and the trisaccharide like the. Now, this is the you see the structure of oligosaccharide. Oligosaccharide typically contain 3 to 9 monosaccharide unit. The example is the raffinose. This is the structure. Now, come to the polysaccharides. Polysaccharides are the type of carbohydrate which are made by more than 9, more than 10 monosaccharides. We can say in the another way, after the hydrolysis of polysaccharide, it gives at least 10 monosaccharide or more than 10 monosaccharide. Different types of polysaccharides are there. So, polysaccharide contain greater than 10 monosaccharide units. Now, the common example of polysaccharides are starch. We have seen in my last session photosynthesis, after the Kelvin cycle, in the Kelvin cycle is divided into 3 main parts, that is carboxylation, reduction and the regeneration. In reduction part, when the at the time of reduction, the fructose 1,6-diphosphate molecule is converted into fructose, and this fructose finally converted into sugar and finally converted into the starch. So, starch is the main storage product of the green plant. Okay. So, the starch is a type of carbohydrate which is known as polysaccharide. So, we can define starches. It is a polymer consisting of entirely glucose monomer. It is generally the all the different types of glucose molecules combinedly linearly arranged like this, the glucose molecule, glucose molecule, glucose molecule, glucose molecule, more than 10, more than 10, more than 100 glucose molecule were linearly arranged that form the starch. So, starch we can define it is a polymer of glucose monomers. Starch are generally insoluble in water. It is the major energy storage form of glucose in plant. In plant, the carbohydrate is stored in the form of starch. The starches are the two type. There are two type of starch according to the your syllabus, that is amylose and amylopectin. When the amylose unbranched chain of several hundred glucose, when this glucose molecule is going to be unbranched and it is connected with glycosidic bond, but the glucose molecules arranged in unbranched form. This one is 1, this one is the 1000. So, when the 1000 glucose molecules is going to be combined with the help of glycosidic bond, that for the linear structure of glucose, that linear structure of glucose is called amylose. Amylose we can simply say it is the unbranched chain, unbranched chain of glucose. Now, the second one of starches, that is the amylopectin. It is the branched chain of several thousand glucose molecules. So, when it is linearly aligned glucose molecule, that is called amylose. When it is going to be branching form in between 1,4 glycosidic linkage, beside 1,4 glycosidic linkage, other glycosidic linkage are found in between 1, 2 or other form, that form the branched like structure in the linear chain like this. When the amylopectin is formed, the amylopectin structure are of this type. This one is the linear structure of glucose. We can see the structure of amylose is this. When it is going to be branched, just this like branching, this type of branching is formed, that is called amylopectin. So, amylopectin is another type of starch which is branched chain. This branched chain formed by the glycosidic bond, no doubt, and the linear chain also formed by the glycosidic link. So, there are two type of starch, which is the energy storage, amylose and amylopectin. Now, the second one type of polysaccharide, that is glycogen. Glycogen, it is also consist of glucose monomer, but it is branched. It is the major energy storage form of glucose in animal. In plant, that is starch. In animal, the major energy storage form of glucose in glycogen. This glycogen broken back down into glucose when the cell needed, when energy is required, that process is called glycogenolysis. Glycogenolysis is the process by which the glycogen, which is a branched chain of starch or branched chain of polysaccharide, that break down to form energy. It is highly branched chain of the glucose. And now, the second one, next one of polysaccharide is cellulose. It is a homopolymer of glucose, has different glycosidic linkage than starch. There are no side chain in cellulose as there are in starch. The absence of side chain allow these linear molecules to close together. It is the major component of tough wall that enclose the plant cell. So, plant cell is mainly made by the cellulose. Cellulose does not contain complex helicals, hence cannot hold iodine. Cotton fiber is the example of cellulose. Cellulose is difficult to digest. Cow or ruminant animal have microbes in their stomach to facilitate this process. The another type of polysaccharide is chitin, which is the exoskeleton of the arthropods. It is also used as a surgical threads by doctors. Besides this, there is the complex polysaccharides also, the polysaccharides which are present in nature. They are the building block of the amino sugars and chemically modified sugar, that is glucosamine and N-acetyl glucosamine. Now, we can recall the entire chapter. There are 4 types of primary biomolecule, that is carbohydrate, protein, lipids and nucleic acids. The second question, glycogen is broken down into glucose when energy is needed, that process is called glycogenolysis. Carbohydrate serves as a fuel and building material of the body. Some common examples of carbohydrate, cane sugar, glucose and starch. Now, think over this question. Name the 2 structural polysaccharides which are found in fungi. My next question, arrange the following carbohydrate in order to increasing complexity of their chemical structure, because when the simple structure, when the molecular weight is simple, this will be simple, when molecular weight is high, So, you can arrange this on the basis of their molecular weight: triose, starch, maltose, fructose, oligosaccharide. So, let us hope you now you are able to answer these questions. I will answer this in my next session. Thank you.